Now at 6, reciting the FFA Creed in Spanish takes a Uniontown High School student to national honors. Plus, the city of Parsons turns out to honor its veterans on the eve of Veterans Day. And the Galena High School welcomed local veterans for a day of lunch and learning.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A Uniontown High School sophomore wins the National FFA Spanish Creed Speaking Contest. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Tanya Bach. Maria Cibrian Vasquez won the first ever national level event. Now, Kansas doesn't yet offer a Spanish Creed contest, but 16 other states do, including California, where Cibrian recently moved from. KOAM's Fernanda Silva spoke to the sophomore about her exciting journey.
Puedo ejercer influencia en mi hogar y en la comunidad que se mantendrá firme por mi parte en esta inspiradora tarea.
This is Maria Cibrian Vasquez's favorite part of the FFA Creed. Reciting it in Spanish took her to the top of the first FFA National Level Spanish Creed Speaking Contest.
Winner, Maria Cibrian Vasquez from Kansas.
Yeah! It's really special to me, being able to represent not only my language, but all the Hispanics out there that speak Spanish.
The competition, which has an English version, aims to develop public speaking abilities, highlighting the organization's values and beliefs. The contest was not only a source of pride for her and her family, but also of self-esteem. Maria grew up between California and Mexico. In the fall semester, she started her journey to Southeast Kansas in Uniontown. She's the only Hispanic student in her high school.
It was pretty hard. Sometimes people aren't very nice, and you just have to adapt to it. I gained everyone's respect, and now, I even go to gas stations, and people just recognize me, and they're like, oh, you're the one who won the Creed. It's just amazing.
I think anytime that a student sees another student, especially from their school, have success at that level, I feel like it can be motivating for them, and they want to experience something similar to that.
Maria hopes to inspire not only Uniontown, but the state of Kansas Hispanic community.
I'm trying constantly to advocate having a Spanish Creed competition here in Kansas because, coming to the state, it's not a thing here. And I had the privilege to be the one who represented Kansas in this competition.
A privilege she doesn't take for granted. In Uniontown, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
After the competition, Uniontown schools organized an assembly to celebrate Maria Cibrian Vasquez's achievement. The school says it's an opportunity to let her know that not only do they accept her, but are also proud of her. Congratulations. Well, breaking news out of Neosho, Missouri, as a train derails today. 5 loaded rail cars carrying paper on a CPKC train derailed at approximately 3 a.m. this morning just south of Neosho. Authorities report no injuries, no hazardous materials, and no threat to public safety or the environment. CPKC teams arrived on site with additional equipment and crews to tackle the cleanup of the rail cars. Authorities are investigating the cause of the derailment. You can head over to KOAMnewsnow.com for more information as this story develops. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us now with a first look at weather.
Well, it turned out to be a great Friday for us today. Temperature is fantastic. Most of us right about 60 to about 62 degrees, and that is right where we should be for this time of the year. Cooling off now, dropping back through the 50s, even into the 40s if you go outside in Pittsburgh. Of course, it gets dark earlier now. Temperatures upper 40s to lower 50s, and we're going to drop back pretty quickly throughout the evening. At least the winds are starting to calm down just a little bit. We've had these northeasterly winds at about 5 to 10 all day long, so it doesn't feel as cold. All right, clear skies here. Clouds back to our south and to our west. A weak little wave is going to rotate through late tonight into the morning hours tomorrow. Now, if you're heading out shortly, high school playoff football weather, temperatures mainly into the 40s. So it is going to be chilly. Bundle up. We're going to look at your weekend and changes down the road here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, Saturday marks Veterans Day, so the city of Parsons, Kansas gathered together today to honor our nation's heroes. That honor took the form of a parade through downtown Parsons. Veterans were encouraged to join in the parade by walking, rolling, or riding on floats that were provided. The event provided a way for the community to come out and meet some heroes and show their appreciation. Veterans and those armed forces members still serving took part in the parade. The city of Galena turned out to honor their veterans today. The 17th annual Veterans Day celebration took place at Galena High School Performing Arts Center. Veterans and their spouses living in or around the Galena School District and veterans related to any of the students in the Galena School District were invited to attend. The event provided one student a way to learn from one of the heroes in the community.
Well, I've learned a lot about where he served, where he was stationed at. He told me a lot of cool stories about his time in service, and I'm just fascinated by what he's told me, and it's been really nice.
Lunch was provided for the veterans and guests at the end of the program. Well, junior cadets from the Webb City ROTC stopped by St. Luke's to lead residents in the Pledge of Allegiance today. For one cadet, the day provided a way to meet and learn from a veteran and maybe follow in their footsteps.
For me personally, it feels amazing to see them be so just happy to see us and for us to honor them. And I know for the rest of us, it's just really a great thing for us to do.
St. Luke's is located at 1220 East Fairview Avenue in Carthage, Missouri. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in Carthage. Vision Carthage began its Christmas window paintings this week. The window paintings are part of the community's prep for the holiday season. The paintings allow the organization to support local artists by permitting them to paint on the windows of storefronts. For some Carthage residents, the decorations take them back to their childhood.
This started a few years ago. I think they said 4 years ago, and the director just had the idea. I've heard that they used to do this a long time ago in Carthage, and so I think that that's kind of where it started, was people remembering that from when they were kids.
Well, the theme for this year's window decorating, as well as the Christmas parade, is Candyland. A little later, high school football season heats up as it draws to a close. John takes us live to the scene of the game of the week, Webb City versus Carthage. But up next, a man and his late daughter's dog are reunited after a separation of miles and tragedy.
At US Cellular, anyone can get any phone free.
Samsung Galaxy for free.
My business sense says that's a great deal.
You're so right. That's a totally awesome deal.
Get the gift of connection at US Cellular.
A grieving Tulsa man reunites with his daughter's dog weeks after she died in an accident in Canada. Aaron Christie has the story.
Out of this tragedy, at least there's a little bit of having our dog back.
Gary Stockwell and his daughter Macy Stockwell lived in Alaska. Then back in September, the two decided to move to Oklahoma. But during the move, on October 1st, Macy was involved in a rollover crash.
At 10 o'clock that night, I talked to her and she was getting ready to stop. So I went to bed. At 1:30 in the morning, the Tulsa Police Department knocked on my door to inform me that my daughter had died.
She and the family's dog were ejected from the vehicle. Macy died there, and their dog was lost in the woods. That's when total strangers stepped in to help find Mina, the missing dog. But then after locating her, they ran into a new problem, getting her across the border. A couple from Tulsa, in true Oklahoma fashion, said they would take Mina on the long road trip home.
She contacted me and said, "Don't worry about it. I'll bring your dog home." Overwhelming amount of care and time that those people put into helping me. My gratitude is overwhelming for them.
It took 9 days before Mina was found in a nearby forest. Happy ending. Well, a little later, it's a big night for high school football in our area. John, Brock, and the rest of the sports team have a full slate of gridiron action coming up in sports.
Plus, of course, it's Friday night on the Big Town, heading into the weekend. We're going to look at that forecast coming up next.
Downtown Joplin sits atop the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex, home of Connect-A-Culture and Spivus Center for the Arts.
Well, it turned out to be a nice Friday for us today. Quite a bit of sunshine. Temperature is great, 60 to about 62 degrees across the region, which is right where we should be for this time of the year. But of course, it's Friday night. It's 4th State Friday night playoff football. And if you're heading out to any of these games shortly, temperatures are dropping back through the 40s. So you're going to have to bundle up. It's going to be chilly out there, but overall, it looks pretty good as we go through the evening hours. Nice shot. Here's our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex live tower cam. We are looking downtown Joplin, looking off toward the north and to the east. Looks pretty good. Of course, we got parades, Veteran Day parades as we head into the weekend, and temperatures are going to be nice. Now, it's going to be chilly tonight. We've dropped back upper 40s, northern counties. Everybody else kind of in that 50 to about 53 degree range. We can go to 7th and Rangeline, currently sitting at 53. Northerly winds at about 5 to 10, so it is a little bit on the breezy side, but it's a nice evening overall. All right, northerly winds all day long. These are kind of backing down just a little bit. It's not quite as breezy as what it was earlier today, thankfully. And we have clear skies for now, but you can see the clouds increasing. Central western Kansas, a little bit of rain once you get down toward Lubbock and also Amarillo. This weak little wave is actually heading toward us. Now, it doesn't have a lot of moisture, but it will bring in these clouds later on tonight. We may get a sprinkle or two by mid-morning or so. But if we look at our upper level winds, you can see the kink. That's this wave. Next little wave out across the Pacific Northwest, but we don't have any big storm systems moving in anytime soon, but we are going to look down the road here in just a bit. All right, clouds increase tonight. Here's 6:30 in the morning. Mid-30s, maybe a sprinkle, especially on the Kansas side throughout the morning hours. Temps into the mid-50s by noon. Partly sunny skies by the afternoon. We're stopping at 4:30. 57 Lamar, 60 Bentonville, near 60 in Parsons. Tomorrow night, clouds break up. We clear out. Looks pretty good. We drop back. Mid-30s once again. And then as we go into Sunday, very nice. Mostly sunny skies. A little bit warmer as temperatures go into the mid-60s during the afternoon. So here's a breakdown of your weekend. 60 tomorrow, great fall-like weather. 64 on Sunday. It's going to be chilly at night, but at least a very nice fall weekend for the beginning of November. All right, let's go down the road. So we're going to start Monday morning. We have one wave passes just to our south Tuesday into Wednesday. I think we'll stay dry, but we'll get the clouds. So let's get this guy out of here. Another pretty quiet week for next week, but I want you to notice storm system starting to load up. So this is next weekend. This is going to bring in a lot of cold air. And then here's where it gets interesting. Now we have storm systems dipping down into the southwest. So Thanksgiving week, which of course is a big travel week, it's under 2 weeks away, is going to be interesting for travelers across the Central Plains. 60 tomorrow, 64 Sunday, 67 on Monday, 68 Tuesday and Wednesday. Maybe a few showers late next week, and then cooling down a bit by next weekend, but still pretty good forecast over the next several days.
Yeah, you can't complain about that forecast. It's just beautiful.
Not at all.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, be careful if you receive a call asking about Medicare. It could be a scam. These calls will specifically ask about personal information such as your Medicare card number, your Social Security number, or other health insurance identification. Remember, Medicare does not call you uninvited and ask you for personal or private information. You will usually get a written statement in the mail before you get a phone call from a government agency. Calls requesting health insurance information should not be trusted. You can head over to medicare.gov for more information. Still ahead, it's a busy Friday night full of high school football playoff games. John Dales is live at the game of the week between Webb City and Carthage, coming up next.
The Mansion Theater for the Performing Arts invites you to a 30th anniversary
Care of you. St. Luke's Nursing Center. We treat you like family.
Guarantee today's funeral prices. Pre-arrange at Bath Naylor and First School Funeral Homes.
Cardinal Stadium and John Roderick Field as Webb City hosts Carthage in a district championship game and a district championship night across all of Southwest Missouri. Now, this contest here, second meeting of the season between these two. They've already met once in the regular season. Carthage won that regular season matchup 20-13. That was just over a month ago. Tigers started the season 0-3. From that point forward, though, they've been 7-1. Meanwhile, Webb City is 8-2. They've got a 3-game winning streak since losing that last game to Carthage. However, most important stat of the night, Webb City has yet to lose a game so far on their home field right here. They've defended their home turf very well all season. Over to Class 4, District 7, another district championship game. Carl Junction on the road at Nevada. The Bulldogs went 1-8 in the regular season. Playing schools a little bit bigger than them, with more students than them, since starting to play schools their size. Well, Carl Junction, 2 wins in a row. That sends them to the district championship. Nevada, meanwhile, 8-2 this season. Only losses are to a couple of very good Big 8 conference rivals. Lamar beat them 14-0. Seneca beat them by just 4 points a couple of weeks ago. Elsewhere, Lamar at home tonight in another district title game. They host Adrian. The Tigers are 9-1. Their only loss was to Seneca on the year. That was on September 15th. 6-game winning streak for them, and they just beat Diamond 47-0 last week in the district semis. Their opponent, Adrian, 11-0. Closest game was a 46-28 win in week 2. They just knocked Butler out of the playoffs last week. KOAM sports team is going to be at all those games across Missouri. Over to Kansas, though, in southeast Kansas, it's the sectional round of the playoffs in that state. Only one of our local teams has a home game tonight. That's Parsons. The Vikings have a very tough draw at that. They're hosting undefeated Topeka Hayden. But the Vikings also could be undefeated in their own right. They're 9-1 so far this season. They very easily could be undefeated because their only loss was by 2 points on a last-second field goal against Frontenac. They just beat Prairie View by 4 touchdowns last week. Hayden's closest game, meanwhile, a 17-point win over Holton. Coincidentally, that's who Frontenac plays on the road tonight. The Raiders are on the road at Holton. This deep in the playoffs, every single team is good, but this is a Frontenac team, too, that's a hair away from being undefeated. 9 wins in a row since a one-possession loss to Colgan back in week 1. And speaking of Colgan, the Panthers, we have an all-St. Mary's matchup. St. Mary's Colgan Panthers playing the St. Mary's Bears on the road. Colgan has won its last 4 games by 55 points or more. We'll see if they're in for a little bit of a closer one in their second close game of the season, perhaps, tonight. Well, we're going to have highlights from all those games and a lot more, scores from a lot more on a special edition of 4 States Friday night. That's at 10:15. But for now, that's all for sports. We're going to be back after this.
It's a beautiful morning, Scotty, and we have an early game today. That injured list, it's getting...
Galena, Kansas native received the Army Commendation Medal for his service. We're proud to salute Stephen Dunn, a 4-state hero.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We'll get a preview of Joplin's Veterans Day Parade tomorrow as we learn about a locomotive built for the Army during World War II. Plus, we'll check out a Native American celebration at Miami's Coleman Theater and how airports are preparing for their busiest time of the year, the holiday season. Those stories and a lot more tonight on the KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Well, when severe weather strikes, you'll want to stay informed. You can do that by scanning this QR code. It'll take you to the KOAM News Now YouTube page, where our weather team will live stream during severe weather events to give you updated information. While you're there, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications.
We haven't had the live stream in a little while. We haven't had any severe weather, which is good, and we're not going to have any this weekend. Looks fantastic as we go into Saturday and also on Sunday. High temp tomorrow, 60, 64 on Sunday. We are going to have a lot of clouds kind of sneaking around. But if you're heading out to the Veterans Day Parade tomorrow, it looks fine. 67 on Monday. Next chance for rain, really not for about a week.
Yeah.
So pretty calm.
No complaints about that. No severe. I know.
No, not at all.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you right back here at 10. Have a great evening and an even better weekend.
live closed captioning.